I think it really did start with sport to begin with, and just actually learning to like build that discipline as a person. But volleyball, I got to say I was in the junior English national team development program. I was
So
playing.
how does that even start? You just look at you and go, this guy's tall. He can spike a ball. You want to try volleyball? And then you're like, yeah, and that's it.
I love like me actually being able to perform in front of a big crowd and express myself in certain ways, especially when it comes to music. And musical theatre was kind of like the stepping point and the turning point for me.
How did you balance all that?
It was tough.
Which one? The heartbreaking part?
All of it, kind of. Mm-hmm.
Now, who do you want to be? And how do you want to express yourself? Martins. Ladies and gentlemen, I toiled this earth, aka London, to find you the beautiful, most beautiful, amazing singers, songwriters, and artists. And we found one. We found a very, very nice young king who used to be a former volleyball player. So he has been spiking his way through life. He is now singing, songwriting, and releasing music, and intends to continue from his amazing catalog of 2023, 2024, and bringing it to 2025. And he will be performing at the Korak Live Music Events 5 in April. But ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only King Leon Dion Chambers. Woo!
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It was lovely to meet you.
Finally, man. Finally. I've been doing my thing in my research, aka stalking. Found you, decided, man, this guy needs to be on the podcast. Interesting story which we'll talk about. But first of all, cheers for coming down.
Cheers, man.
Yes, let's have a nice sip to kickstart. Always people production in the house, BK Creative.
Hello.
Yes, and of course you have your one and only host now, host forever, MC Sabi Boy.
More things.
Yes. We still don't have any sponsors, but we're moving up, people, because we have an ex-volleyball star here. Who knows?
Hey.
We'll make him sign an autograph and we'll sell it. That's exactly what we'll do. Make him sign an autograph. So, Leon, very simple. We start this podcast with the same question. Korak means footsteps, and each footstep we see as a journey in your life in getting to the destination that you want to get to. What was that first step you took in life, and of course, eventually leading to your music? What was that first step that you took to lead you to where you're going now?
I think it really did start with sport to begin with, and just actually learning to like build that discipline as a person. And that was kind of what got me to university. And then from university, that's when I discovered music.
So in terms of sports, is it did you come from a sporty family, or because you play volleyball, which is a good sport? It's not very popular. When you talk about popular, we're talking about football, rugby, and all that. And I liked volleyball as a kid. I had a dream once. My dream was I'll be a professional football player, and I'll marry a superstar beach volleyball player. Particularly maybe from Brazil or Venezuela. That was my plan at the time.
Brazil is amazing.
I've never been, but I've been through other people's eyes and what I can see on TV. And I played volleyball in high school. So it's a very tricky. How did you get into volleyball initially? Because most people obviously dream of Premier League and all that. What drew you to volleyball?
My PE teacher was actually the London volleyball coach at the time.
Oh, okay.
And
what school did you go to? That's like
this is in Ernest Bevan in Tooting.
Ah, yeah. Nice.
I'm originally from Clapham, Tooting area.
Okay.
So. But yeah, I was doing that for quite a while, and then because I was actually pretty tall, I started getting like good at it.
So you had that early boom in terms of one of those.
And I was around the right people as well.
Okay, so you didn't pick any other sport. Volleyball was what you had your eyes towards.
Before volleyball, it was actually table tennis. And then judo. Just
like
a lot of sports that were like Olympic, not really.
It was one of those sports you looked around like, let me beat up some white kids or something. Or, let me go where too many competition isn't. Table tennis. So do you still play table tennis?
Yeah.
And then what do you say, judo?
Judo, yeah.
But what belt did you get to?
I actually didn't get graded. I did it for probably about 2 years.
Okay.
But the grading, I never really...
So this was your experimental phase?
Yeah, I was just trying different things, different sports. I did athletics. I found out I wasn't really fast enough or wasn't really athletic in that way. Okay. So I just tried to do other things. I played football, terrible. Literally, I was in goal or defender. It was just never really for me.
One of those when they finish picking everybody. Leon!
Yeah, is that
busy?
You cover up enough space, get in goal. But yeah, it went
So
well.
was your family very sporty, or because usually we try to understand the genesis of where the music comes from? Or was your family very sporty? Because it looked like it encouraged you into
No,
do
not
loads of
really.
sports.
It was literally just, from what I could see anyway, it was literally just me. My cousin's actually a boxer as well.
Okay.
But
Like
aside
a
from
professional
that,
boxer.
yeah, he did it for a bit.
Okay, that's cool. So
I
apart
think
from
he's
that,
retiring soon.
all right.
Yeah.
So the parents, in terms of what's the family dynamic like? So just you, sister, brother. How many?
It's me, my 2 sisters, and I've got a niece and a few nephews as well.
So what were they into? Are you the first, the last?
I'm the youngest out of all of them.
Oh yeah, you have the youngest kind of vibe. Kind of
Yeah.
flow. I would know. I'm one. I don't know if
Yeah.
you could tell. When you look at Blessing behind the camera, you know he's the firstborn.
Yeah.
Firstborn. They always have this, I don't know, thing about them. They think they have to protect everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from Blessing, I don't know. Blessing missed that part. Missed that part of the journey. So you were doing sport. You're very sporty, clearly, when you were a kid. So all this while, where was music?
It was always there. I went to Lambda to study dance and musical theatre as well when I was like really young.
Okay, how young is this?
And then I started dancing as well. And like my love for music was always through just being able to express myself in different ways. And then we kind of realized that I was like kind of just singing around all the time. Even like what I do now, I was just doing it in excess from a very young age. And then once I got to university, I bought a MacBook. And I was like, you know what? I've used GarageBand. I've done all of this with music. I did really well at music for my GCSEs in secondary school. So I thought, you know what? Let me just do it.
So
And,
if we go back to when you were singing all over the place and you went to dance school, and so you say your love for music had always been there. But
yeah.
if you could pin it down now to as far back as you remember, where does it come from? So mine comes from general, as I said, last child, running up and down the place, energy. My parents love music. My siblings love music. And my parents love different type of music, not the classical, pop, all that, Motown, all that put together. So with you, was it just a case of you clearly wanted to dance as well? What happened to that? That would have been an interesting thing to see. So you did judo, table tennis, dancing, and volleyball.
I was doing a lot, but I feel like music was kind of. My dad is actually used to DJ as well.
Okay.
And my mum, just like me, like she used to love music. So like, it was just like I was listening to a lot of music all the time. Obviously me doing street dance and obviously going to like art school. That kind of was always there. But then once I went to secondary school, it was kind of just me just kind of understanding a few things about like what I actually wanted to do in the future.
Well,
And then
you're a
sport
very
kind of-
routine kind of kid. I can see you wake up 4:30 in the morning, milkshake or protein shake or whatever your dancers and table tennis players were doing, and then school, dance here, do this, or were you just going with the flow at any point in time? Just okay, let me just see what I can pick up here and there.
Go with the flow 100%. Like it was a sporadic mess, but at the same time the goal was still always there. Like I wanted to obviously prosper. I wanted to do well at the things I was doing. And if it meant that I needed to be more disciplined in that area, then that's kind of what I needed to work on, really.
Did you have friends, Leon?
Yeah.
Because you're already talking about discipline as like I didn't even know what that word meant till I was like in my mid-20s. So
Oh no, that's like I'm nowhere near perfect. Like when I was in secondary school, I was like late to things, like here, like especially when it came to like me waking up early. That was probably my biggest issue, was me actually getting up when my alarm went off.
But once you got up, you were good to go.
Good to go.
So you did all that. So you look like you created a good foundation because you tried different things just to see where your hand was. So you ended up with volleyball, and you said you picked this up from high school, right?
Yeah.
Did you take it further to uni? Obviously, you're a professional. You're an ex-pro volleyball player. So how did that all unfold?
Volleyball was kind of what got me through to university, because I was able to be offered scholarships. I was looking to go abroad for uni as well. But at the same time, I was always like musical. That when I actually got the MacBook and that, I got like all of the equipment I needed just in order for me to do music. And then I was just experimenting through there. But volleyball, I got to say I was in the junior English national team development program. I was
So
playing.
how does that even start? You just look at you and go, this guy's tall. He can spike a ball. You want to try volleyball? And then you're like, yeah, and that's it. How does it actually work?
Because I was like tall, like, and I was kind of naturally, I kind of got into the groove of things pretty quickly. I was provided with opportunities like from when I first started playing, where it was just like, oh, if you get actually good enough and you actually like go through school in a good way, you could obviously play in like, say, London Youth Games. London Youth Games was probably the first big tournament for me where I decided to just like, you know what, actually focus on this.
Was the level high at the time where, because when you're watching volleyball, because I still watch volleyball every now and then. I did volleyball, played handball, all that sport. Is it at that level where you're talking about? Is this where people just fly in the air, pretend they're going to spike somebody? Because it was that high at that point.
That's what it looked like for me, especially being 13, 14 at the time, and seeing these like grown men like literally just going and just like being athletic. It's just, I think it's what captured me into the sport from the beginning, and actually being able to see the sport at the highest level and be like, you know what, this looks like something I want to do.
So volleyball took you scholarship-wise into uni.
Yeah.
What uni did you end up in?
Sheffield Hallam University.
Oh, yeah, that's like a sporting paradise. Everybody goes to Sheffield for. So in your head, volleyball was, this is what I'm going to do professionally.
Yeah.
But you said music was on the back burner. So for example, so you train, do what you need to do, go home, MacBook, and then when did you discover you had a voice? Because when you're younger and you're walking around and singing blah blah blah, you think you sound amazing. I used to mimic Boys to Men, and in my head I was thinking, look, if anything goes wrong, one of you, I'll place you. I was obviously lying to myself. So how did you actually discover that you had a voice?
When I went to college in Loughborough College. That's where I studied musical theatre. I did a BTEC level 3. I met some amazing people, amazing artists, amazing performers in general, who I'm still friends with now. And I think I really learned a lot about myself in that time period. That was probably the time period where I was just like, okay, I'm actually like pretty talented at this. And I love like me actually being able to perform in front of a big crowd and express myself in certain ways, especially when it comes to music. And musical theatre was kind of like the stepping point and the turning point for me to do that.
So if we go back a bit, you were singing all over the place as a kid, you were playing volleyball. Did you do any singing or music in high school? In high terms school, of performing in front of people? Yeah.
I did like 2 talent shows that we had at the end of the year. That was fun.
So you were like, so you stole the show pretty much, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, kind of like.
So you had discovered this voice before? I just did it because I loved it. Oh, well, you say you did it because you loved it. So did you add in the dance move here and there? And
I didn't.
Okay.
I should have. Now I think about it, because
there's no going back, Leon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's only going forward. So you did musical theatre in college, and then when you entered uni, even if it was with a volleyball scholarship, what were you studying?
I studied stage and screen performance.
The amount of guests we speak to, I mean, grew up in Nigeria and uni and all that in Ghana. The courses I want to hear, like engineering, law. What is stage and performance? What stage and what?
Stage and screen performance.
I can think of just say, son, what do you want to do? Stage and screen performance. I can just see the stage of me being dead with my parents just put me there. So what are stage and screen performance?
Yeah.
And of course mixing that with the college musical theatre. Well, it makes sense. So the aim was obviously to work towards. Did you ever see yourself in like theatre shows and plays and wanting to do
I did. And at the time, even now, for instance, like I'm a really big fan of going to say like going to watch the theatres in West End. I've seen Billy Elliot probably about 3 times now. I've went to see The Lion King as well, meet the cast, whilst I was studying at college at the time. That was a really good experience. And then from there, I was kind of just like, oh, this is possibly something that I can see myself doing. And then That was actually when I went to play pro. So
How did
after
you
that.
balance the training and schoolwork in terms of volleyball? Because you were looking to go professional as a volleyball player.
Yeah.
So how was that balance in university? And by balance, I mean the training itself, obviously music, and all the hearts of girls and all that you were breaking. How did you balance all that?
It was tough.
Which one, the heartbreaking part?
All of it, kind of, because like I was just always busy, always training, always tired. I was.
What was the training schedule like?
So like when I was at college, I'll be like going to the gym maybe 3 to 4 times a week in the morning, and then after that, that's when college begins. And with what I was studying at the time in college, I was pretty much there every day, either rehearsing, whether it would be for like the pantomime, whether it would be for like the musical that would get graded on. Everything was graded performance based.
Okay.
And then there was like probably 30% which was written.
This sounds, that's what I was asking you.
And then training in the evening.
Oh yeah, you train twice a day.
Yeah.
Man, this is why I didn't make it as a professional, man. Training once would have just been enough. So I keep asking again, did you have friends, man? Because I don't, in between, so most of the time, obviously you made friends with people you did music with and your pro volleyball players. So you were doing all that. Music was in the background. So you finished university. How do you then turn pro?
Yeah, sorry. Can we go back just because I think as someone, for example, that doesn't understand, I understand how you go pro in football, but maybe people that are listening as well don't understand how you go pro in volleyball. So talk us through the process of when you were playing, realize you're good, and then that like thought of actually I want to do this professionally. Like then what is the journey like that? What does that look like for someone that wants to go professional?
I kind of always had it in mind that I wanted to go and play pro from when I left secondary school. So the idea was for me to go through college, just really enjoying myself doing what I really wanted to do, which was still music, which was still performing, and then obviously playing volleyball. And then after I finished that, the idea was for me to then go to university abroad or go to a university up north, like Northumbria, Sheffield, somewhere where volleyball was like seen as, well, somewhere where you can play at the highest level. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what just kind of kept me focused, really.
And then in terms of once you've got to the universities and stuff like that, is it like a process of being scouted? Is it a process of joining teams? Like, what does that process look like?
Mine was a bit different because I was looking for different agents and for people to actually like represent me. But in the end, I kind of just started, because I had a lot of footage from different games and stuff like that. I put highlight reels together and then just find a way to get the emails from the coaches or whatever from the teams that I was looking towards, and then just find them and like send the videos to them through email and stuff like that. But with my contract that I had with Nice, I actually found them through a few friends of mine that had played there previously.
Nice as in Nice in France?
Yeah,
okay.
That's where I played.
Oh, hello. yeah, just putting it out there like, yeah, I played in Nice. It's like me saying, yeah, when I played for PSG, two different towns. But yeah, cool. So, I mean, one of the things, good question in terms of going professional. So, what is the North Star for volleyball? What does everybody want to end up? You say like in football, everybody wants to end up in Premier League, right? Or at least play for their country. What is the North Star for volleyball?
For me, it was just to obviously enjoy what I was doing and getting paid for it. And like, it didn't really matter as long as I enjoyed the setting I was in. And like, say for most people, it would be like to play in an Italian league or...
Is the Italian league the strongest league?
It's probably the Italian league, the Brazilian league, the Polish and Russian leagues. They all play at a very high standard. And the French league is actually pretty decent as well. Well, especially now, like very good. But yeah, it's just kind of those really.
So how did you get into Nice? So you said you had friends that were there. So how did that journey work out? So you just sent your videos and they were like, oh yeah, this guy's good, and then
I had I approached him on Facebook and then just basically sent my video clip to him there, and then I went for a trial run over there, and then that went well, and then from there.
And they gave you a contract. Is the money good in volleyball?
That particular one, it can be very good in volleyball depending on the team you play for.
So what's good? What's the idea of good? Give me an example.
At the time of me like finishing uni, I thought that I think I got about say $1.5 grand a month.
$1.5 grand a month.
Yeah.
Training, but obviously training and all that is in place. So, but like a superstar volleyball player, what's their rate?
Their rate, you can get into the tens of thousands, maybe millions. Yeah,
well, that's cool.
It really does depend on the team and
the league and all that.
The league, it depends on like who's won, like say the world champ or whatever, and you get like the bonuses from there, which you can then obviously provide for the rest of the team and make the team better, whether it would be in the first team, whether it would be the second team, third team. But the majority of the teams that really do well in the long run are the teams that actually have the depth.
So how long were you in Nice for, and then did you win any world championships?
No, we didn't. I was playing in the 3rd division.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was training with the first team that was actually playing in the 1st division as well. But I was only there for about 1.5 years.
And then what happened?
I just came back to England.
To play volleyball, or that was it? You were done? You were done with volleyball after 1.5 years?
Well, kind of been 15 years at that point.
Well, I mean, we're talking about professionally.
Yeah.
So what happened? You just had enough? You got injured?
I was kind of just missing home. A lot of things at the time were happening as well, family-wise. And at the time, it was kind of my escape to just basically go and do what I love to do. And then, I don't know, like a lot of things were different. I wasn't home. And I came back to London and I was just like, okay.
You felt better?
Yeah.
So what do you then transition? So at this point, obviously, you were in your time in Nice. Were you still singing? Were you making music?
Yeah, 100%.
So then
I carried all the equipment that I had from university, brought that with me. So like after games, after training sessions, I'd just be continuing creating. So
what's life apart from having all the training? So what do you do? Obviously, you like your theater, you like your music. Mm-hmm. What else did you do? You were in France, Nice, south of France, supposed to be amazing. Mm-hmm. And what was happening? What was life generally?
For me there, I was very laid back. Learning French was the first, 3 months was very... I would say it was kind of a difficult transition for me, but a lot of people that were part of my team and part of the volleyball community in general were from either different parts of the world or spoke very good English anyway, so it was kind of difficult for me to actually do that. But during the summer period was where and I was working over there in the summer, working as a bartender.
Okay.
And that was kind of where I was learning a bit more.
So did you speak any French now?
Je parle un peu.
I mean, you could say anything to us. We have no idea. We'll just be like, oh, yeah. So you came back. Mm-hmm. So that was the end of the volleyball dream?
No, I was still playing. I went back to London. For that year, I actually took a year out. I was just working. I was working in TGIs at the time. And then I got offered to do a master's at UEL for sound and music performance. Okay.
And then you went to do that?
Yeah. Whilst playing volleyball.
While playing volleyball. So, I mean, with the music thing, it looks like you've always taken your time. There's not been like a rush. And in that aspect, has that given you enough time to refine what you have in your catalog? And listening to your music, you don't seem like you have... I wouldn't place you in a genre because you seem like you're very versed in different... And the way you mix your voice, the way it mixes everything. So when did you decide, okay, I want to actually start performing now? When did that come about?
It came about when I came back to London. But at the time...
What year was this?
What year was that? I think it was 2019, 2020. That was like when COVID was happening as well. So things were just like all up in the air for different reasons. But during the time where we weren't really allowed out, that was kind of when I was like really dialed in to music, making just songs, making beats, making sure that my sound was refined and making it, I don't know, just like working on a few things. Because when I listened back to the songs that I was making, I wasn't really too, not that I didn't like, at the time I thought I was making like amazing songs. But I knew at the back of my mind that my songs were kind of like missing a few things, whether it would be the mixing, whether it be the mastering.
What is who are the people you are looking forward to, or who are your inspirations at the time? Because one of the things, me and Blessing were having this conversation in terms of a lot of artists just have their ears. So everything musically is based on their perspective. So they don't have when you're refining your music, when it's just you, what's the inspiration behind it? So at the time, what was your sound inspiration? What were you using as your landmark?
Labyrinth, Chris Brown, always Chris Brown.
The dancing or the music?
The music.
Okay.
Chris Brown can dance.
He's all
Chris
right.
Brown can
He's
dance.
all right. He hasn't met me yet. He's all right. He's all good. It's all good. So Labyrinth is good. Labyrinth good. I think when Labyrinth came out, it was very different.
Yeah.
It was a different sound, and he looked like he's somebody that he was getting his music from like different elements. Labyrinth strikes me as one of those people that somebody could do, and he's like, oh,
I hear something.
yeah, I hear that. That's really something good. Do it again.
Yeah.
He sounds me like one of those. So he was a Labyrinth, Chris Brown. Anybody else?
Bastille, strangely. Just people that perform in like live in general and do really good, like they're unique about what they do.
In terms of your love for music though, because it seems like, what would you say is like your favorite genre? Because your music has rock, it has everything in there. So what is the thing that you, well, when I mean rock, I'm not talking like metal, but it has, it has some elements of it.
Yeah.
What would you say what would you pin as your favorite genre?
That's very tough because my playlist has just got things from all over the world. And like, even with the music I make, I always find it difficult to stick to one genre, regardless of whether it be in R&B or you've got your neo soul, you've got like UK rap, UK grime, drill music. I listen to it all. So if I had to pick one, it would probably be R&B. It has to be.
Well, kind of. If you tailor the music and your voice and all that, R&B will probably be best suited. So when you're refining your music, being inspired by Labyrinth and everybody else, you're still playing volleyball, as you say. When was that first performance? When was that first stage performance that you climbed the stage and said, "Look, people, I'm Leon. This is what I am." When did all that begin?
That was 2021. I performed at the Moustache Bar. It had actually been the first time I'd actually been on the stage by myself.
When you say
just
yourself,
performing original music.
Okay, just on your own.
Yeah.
Just no instrumentalists, nothing. It was just you.
Just me, the backing track, and just performing in front of people as an individual artist.
How did that go?
It went really well. I was very nervous, I'm not going to lie, but I feel like doing that and actually being able to just like see people's reaction of my music first time, like for people that probably hadn't met me before or people that have like known me for a very long time, friends and family, it was just good to see like how they reacted to something that I'd actually created of a long period of time.
So after that, the show in the Moustache, was it just onwards and onwards, making more music, performing in different places? Where would you say has been the best place you've performed in? Apart from when you perform in Korak. Well, where would you say is the best place you performed in so far in London or in the world?
I've only ever performed in the UK. I feel like the best one for me was when I did a headlining gig. This was, I think, 2022. It was at the Spice of Life.
Okay.
The vibe was just amazing. I met some really cool people that night as well. It was my headline gig, my first ever headline gig. We sold out the whole venue.
Very nice.
It was also my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
10th of September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Write that down, people. Write that down. We need to, if you're looking for a party in September, we know where to go. So that's cool. So you did like it was a headline show, your birthday as well. Got people to come down, sold out. Even that, you seem like you went into some sort of hiatus. Or is it hiatus? I don't even know how to pronounce that word. But you went into some sort of break in terms of, okay, I just want to concentrate and make some more music. Is that, am I right in saying that? Because looking at you and looking at stuff, because you have a good following on socials, did you decide to take some time out and just work on some more music, or was it something happened? Was there a shift in the universe? What happened? Because you seem like you took some break out of music for some time.
I feel like when I came back to the UK and everything that was kind of happening with COVID, there was a lot of family situations happening as well.
So you've said that twice now. Is this something you can talk about?
Yeah, for sure.
What happened in the family?
My mum passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Say 7-8 years ago now.
Okay.
And then like with that happening, I think a lot of changes were happening and conversations needed to be had.
Changes like
just with like how the family dynamic was, and obviously me going away after that and then coming back and having to just basically start again through life in a way.
Did her dad push you to want to go away from London?
No, because the idea was to always go, but that kind of, at the time, I kind of just needed a break from everything that was kind of happening. And that was kind of when I went there for the 1.5 years and then thought, it's working, but I was having fun at the same time as well. But in order for me to find a new contract and everything else, I don't think my brain was ready for that. So I kind of just wanted to be around family and familiar people and just actually be around people that were, I don't know, just people that were like I knew.
Okay. How was your relationship with your dad?
I'd say cordial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on speaking terms?
Yeah, we're on speaking terms.
Okay.
But in comparison to the relationship I had with my mum, it's night and day.
Were your parents together?
No, they
Okay.
weren't.
And you're okay with your sisters?
Yeah.
I mean, your sister is coming for, at least one of your sisters coming for the show already.
Yeah.
We already know that.
Everyone's going to be there. It's gonna be
I like
amazing.
it. I like it. Everyone should be there.
Exactly.
So with the family situations, and would you say you have a clear head now?
Yeah, 100%. Like now, especially from like 2 years of just like hard graft and actually just finding out what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be and how I wanted to express myself musically.
So what did you want to do? And who do you want to be? And how do you want to express yourself?
Music, doing what I love and meeting people that have similar interests. Learning from people as well. I feel like I still have a lot to learn as an artist. There's a lot I want to do. There's a lot I want to experience. And just me being me and just being able to translate that in my music in a way that is, I don't know, it's just high level music. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be
Music for the people.
Music for the people.
And
at the same times, I feel like when it comes to all of this like social media, I feel like it makes it more difficult than it needs to be, because I could easily just put out songs and at the time, like say like 2-3 years ago, I'd just be putting them out and I wouldn't have any visuals. And I feel like everything now is like for people need to see visuals for it to be taken seriously.
Yes, and it has to be very good visuals.
Yeah.
Because the world is getting impatient. So if
it's just easily
and because of that, there's a lot of competition. And when it comes to, I mean, the world is very content driven now. So it probably, you taking your time to refine all that is probably for the best. Oh, hey guys, sorry to interrupt your episode. I hope you can please subscribe, hit that notification button so we can get more and wonderful, incredible guests and you can continue to listen to the Korak Podcast. Till then, more thanks. Go back to the episode. Listening to your music, there's even one of your songs that you talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve. A few of your songs, you say that actually. You seem like you're very, you put your heart to everything that you want to do. Relationship-wise, how's that been in the? Because I would classify you as some sort of lover boy based on your music stuff. A deep one, to be precise.
I haven't really been in a relationship
since when?
Probably about a decade now.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always on the go. I'm the type of person that never really sees himself in a certain place for too long. And I feel like that's kind of stunted me from being in a relationship. I'm very picky. And
can she cook?
Because of how I am as
dance?
Well. Huh?
I say, can she cook, clean, dance? Or like tick? You go to the gym?
No, I feel like it's just like, do we... Can I see myself with you for a very long time? Do we click? Do we actually have like similar interests? Like, what are you like? What are your goals in life?
Is there a tick box?
There isn't a tick box, but like, it's very easy for. I'd like to say that I find it like I find I can read people easily.
Okay.
Not like too easy, but like I can kind of understand what they're about.
Well, what's Blessing about? I really want to know.
I haven't really had that much time to talk to him.
Find out if the guy's committed some crime or something.
Do you know, the only reason he's asking this question is because we had someone on the podcast break him down. And they did it so well.
No,
and the thing about
Jay,
Jay,
she didn't do it well. This guy, she could have said anything.
I would say like
99.8%
No,
correct.
Yeah.
In the way that she broke him down.
I gave her. I said she's about 90% right.
Fair play.
And I think I saw the most vulnerable version of Jay I'd ever seen.
No, you didn't.
So ever since that day, he's been really trying to get someone to get me back.
No, it's episode 9, ladies and gentlemen, with Phoenix Rose. Please give it a watch. I mean, I think I'm pretty easy to read because I just say it as it is. Pretty much have no filter. So I'm easy to. This guy wants this. This guy wants this. He wants to do that. Yeah. So I give her like 90%.
Yeah.
The rest, this guy was just excited. Oh yeah. She's right. So do you feel as you're getting older? Because the older we get stuck in our ways, right? So as you're getting older, are you getting more and more picky?
I hope not.
You should know. It's you.
I do a lot of self-analysis. I don't know. I feel like it's just like with the things I've experienced in life and everything I continuously like can see happening around me. I've found myself a bit more of a recluse than I used to be. I'm a bit more like reserved. I feel like I'm a very outgoing person once I know you, but like it takes a while for me to actually just
let it flow.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a song called Flow.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. It's not a bad song. It's really, we'll get into that at some point. So, music seems to be the number one thing in your life, and that is what you're working towards pushing. It seems like it came natural to you because it's not like you had like that mentor, somebody at home was singing, all that. Are your siblings into music as well? Do any of them sing?
They love music. One of my nephews used to play the saxophone.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a tough instrument. We actually had that conversation in the last episode. It's a tough instrument to learn or to play.
All of the woodwind instruments as well. Like, you got the saxophone, trumpet, but like even with like say like something like the clarinet or the trombone or anything which requires you to use your diaphragm, tough.
Well, what instruments do you play?
I can play the piano a little bit. That mainly came from me being at school, just playing everything by ear. I can't really play any other instruments. I would love to play the guitar, but it's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough, man. I can play 007, the dun 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 dun.
Well, that's all you need, man. That's all you need. In fact, you should play it. I'm going to make it on a soundtrack. Just walk around and play it. I'll just walk into a shop and just go dun 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 dun, dun and just have people playing it. So in 2023, you released an album, which was Glow Up.
Yeah.
And that album had a lot of very good songs. Live My Life, Asking for a Friend. You, in terms of the music, before we get into the music proper, in terms of the music world, you have a lot of songs where you've featured somebody, you've been featured. Your latest single, This Is Love, was you and a fellow called Jim. So, do you have a very strong community of friends in the music world that you have built over the years?
For sure, and I feel like from all the places that I performed in as well, that is very. I feel like I find it easy to build connections with people like that as well,
So
more than just being off the internet.
How does that work in terms of in a creative space?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys meet, you talk about your different types of music and what you want. How does the merge come together when you decide, oh, let's work together, or I like what you're doing, can we do something together? How does that actually come together?
If it was from people from like say social medias, I would kind of already find them. I would find them mainly through their music, and I'd be like, I'm a really big fan of this song. If you'd want, we can collab on something that has the similar sort of vibe to this. Or can I just be on the remix?
Have you actually done that to somebody before? Have you gone, I just want to be on the remix?
I have, but we just ended up making up another song in the long run.
So what's your process like? What's your creative process like? What do you make the beat first? Because you produce as well, right?
Yeah.
So do you make the beat first, or does your music come from a place of inspiration, experience? You put the words. How do you blend your creative process to get the songs out?
It's tough. Like, I vibe more off the melody to begin with. And if I think the melody is cool enough, if I think the melody is something I can actually sing to, then I'll usually just focus on that. So I'll get the melody, then put the beat behind it, the drum pattern, and then lay the vocals on it and see what it sounds like.
Is it difficult for you to work with sounds as a producer, considering that you don't particularly play any musical instrument, or just something that comes, you don't have to be able to play one to get like the different sounds that you want? How does it come to you? Because a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I like that, get some drums in here.
Mm-hmm.
Has it just always been natural to you, or something you've learned over the years?
I had a MIDI keyboard I've had a MIDI keyboard for a very long time. And that's kind of what's got me through the production side of things.
Musical instrument, digital interface, I believe.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know what it is, there you go.
I actually didn't know that. But yeah, that's kind of like what gets the ball rolling, shall we say. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm the greatest at it. It's still something that I'm obviously learning to improve on. And like half the songs that I do make, when I make the beats, you probably never hear them. Because they're a work in progress. So You'll probably hear them in like say 5-6 years when they're like, I think they're ready.
You're a perfectionist. If you're going to, so you start now, and then it doesn't come out in 5 or 6 years. My good God, that is a lot of.
I hold on to my songs for a long time.
How long is long? Give me an example. So
that EP you heard, the Glow Up, all of those songs were I probably started them when I just came back to England in 2019.
So you didn't release it until 4 years after. So at that point, what is perfection to you though? When do you now listen to the song and go, okay, this is good to go?
When I go back and hear it, and I just kind of forget about them. Like, I'll forget that I have the song, and then I'll go back and be like, okay, it's not finished because I probably got writer's block in this particular scenario. And that usually happens. Like, I have a really good time when it comes to starting a song. I'll finish the chorus, I'll get the chorus done, I'll get the verse done. And then if I've gone to bed and I wake up and I don't like it the next morning, then I don't know, I kind of lose inspiration from it that way. But then if I go back to it, say like 2 weeks later, and I'm like, okay, I know what is missing now, then I'll lay that and then. But sometimes it takes a while for that to happen.
Do you have a listening crew, like somebody that you say, "Oh, I've just worked on this. Have a listen. What do you think?" Is there somebody there is it a friend or somebody out there that is your ear that goes, "Oh, okay, this is good. You have something here."
Mainly just friends and family, really. But a lot of people are like, yeah, this sounds good anyway, just like release it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's always like, are you just saying it because you don't want to hurt my feelings? Or is it just like, what needs? I'm always looking for someone to be like overly critical on what I like.
Yeah, that was a question I was going to ask. How do you deal with criticism? Because I think one thing that obviously being around a lot of up and coming artists, establishing artists, you find that some people aren't that great with criticism, especially because obviously the music is their baby, is their love, and there is sometimes where obviously we're not musicians, myself and Jay, we're not musicians, but we might hear something and be like, oh yeah, this is good.
Stop lying.
What are you talking about?
You're a musician. Stop lying.
No.
Hey, stop lying.
I want to hear some now.
I grew up in church playing bass. That's it.
Oh, sick.
But, yeah. So, but that's my thing. So, I think there's some artists that you can tell that they're kind of just doing it by themselves, and sometimes it's difficult because it's like you have something there, but it's not all the way there. And then there's some artists who are so good with criticism that you can see it really shows in the work. So how do you deal with criticism? Like, let's say if you were to play us an album, we've just met you, and we were like, oh, it's good, but you could do it this. How would you react to that?
I'd thank you, because I feel like I'm always looking to hear how my work can be improved. And I'm never the type of person to make the same song twice. Like, I always try to listen to different things and make different sounds. And obviously with that being like me being quite an experimental person, I don't want people to just be like, oh yeah, it sounds good. What sounds good about it? Do you like how the snare sounds here? Do you like how my vocals, do you like the vibrato on the vocals at this point? Do you reckon an instrument's missing? Do you reckon a sound's missing? It depends on the scenario. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I do like that.
In terms of when you have that though, like you saying why does it sound good? In terms of, so once you get to the spot where you know the person is not musically gifted, because some people when you go like, oh, what does the snare do here and there, So at that point, does the conversation just stop like, oh, okay, thank you, it sounds good. So you then find out that, okay, they don't really know what's happening here, but you still take whatever they said on board.
Yeah. I do have a few friends or artists that I've like obviously done songs with as well, and asked them for advice as well.
Well, here's the flip to that question. In your community or in the music world, we also have musicians that think they're good. So like proper, you listen to their music and like, do you ever find yourself in a position where you tell somebody you think you might have to work a bit harder or let this go? Have you ever been in that kind of situation?
No, because I tell them what I think about the song, but you never know where a person's going to be in a year or two. And I feel like with my music in particular, the first couple of songs that I made, in comparison to the music that I'm making now to this day, it's like night and day. Like if someone probably told me to stop making music then, I wouldn't be making half the songs that I'm making now. And just to see the process of like how far an artist can go, especially with something you can stick your mind to, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever fall out of love of because I've been doing it for so long. Yeah, I feel like you never know what it can do for you. All you need is just that one one piece of advice that could probably change your whole creative process. It really just does depend on, how hard you work.
What's the best advice you've gotten so far in the music world?
Stay consistent. Just being consistent and always having an understanding that not everyone's going to like your music. Not everyone's going to vibe to the genre you create in that particular moment. Like, people can love this song and absolutely despise this one.
So is your genre R&B? Would you class that as
I would
R&B?
class my genre and the music I make as, like, say, neo soul R&B, yeah.
Neo soul R&B. All right, we're gonna dive into what we call the Korak deep dive, but we'll call it this Leon's lyrics. See what I did? It's finally gotten a name to put the artist's name on. Leon's lyrics. This is where we understand some of the music and what they actually mean, where it came from. I've listened to pretty much at least most of it, if not all your catalog, which is what I do. And as I said, in 2023, you released Glow Up. Wonderful album. Hit upon hit upon hit. You had Live My Life. That song is Afrobeat. I don't if you could call it neo soul from now tomorrow. That song is definitely Afrobeat.
Love that
and
track.
Then the good thing with the album is you listen to some track and you're going, oh, this is good. And then the next one comes in. And then asking for a friend, Chantel. I don't know who she is, but big up.
She's amazing.
Which Chantel are we talking about here?
She's based up north. I think it might be in Manchester.
Oh, okay. I thought there's a Chantel that I know.
Yeah.
Trying to get her, and she's been avoiding me. So I'm just wondering, oh my God, small world. Yes, but that song was really good. But my song, Level Up, featuring Rax, I think that's his name. So I'm going to go into it and read out some of the lyrics, and then you can tell me exactly what happened. So the song is, thinking out loud, we walked in a dark place. We should be proud. We made it out. Do you see now the work we put in all of the hard days? Could you speak out, but I'd rather hold it in. Time to level up, no time to relax. Clean up my act, no more fading in the background. Now it looks like we found the answer, and life is but a dream. What exactly? Obviously, you're saying you're stepping up, you're getting to a higher level, turning your back on things that were a bit dark. How did that all come together? What was happening at the time?
I went through a time period when I came back to England where I was just kind of like feeling sorry for myself about like whatever was kind of happening at the time, the situations I found myself in, whether it was like financially, whether it would be just like friends and family and the dynamic of the relationships that I was having with people.
Was there a particular relationship that was dark and not taking you to places that you liked, or you didn't understand or feel what the situation? Was there a particular relationship?
No, I was just kind of, it was just everything around me. I feel like I was a bit anti everything. I don't know, it was just a very, you could say I was depressed. I was going through a lot of depression. I wasn't really in the right mindset to be like just working, and obviously being in London can be very chaotic.
Was this the solution? Was this you telling yourself that you were stepping out of that depressive state?
Yeah, I'd say that. I felt like all the lyrics that I write are kind of they have us, like, I always try to make statements with the lyrics that I create. And
so what's the major statement, apart from the fact that you're telling us that, man, time to level up, time to move? Is that the statement? Because
it was the statement, especially for that song. But it was literally just that one, for that chorus in particular, that was basically all I could come up with. And the guy that's on the song, Rax, he's an actual volleyball player as well.
What's up with these volleyball boys having extra talent? Just is it the spiking or the jumping? Does it? Because I mean, Rack says, Leon, I told them I'm leveling up. I don't think that they understood. I took one major L when I broke my knee. I'll bounce back with another plan.
Mm-hmm.
So did he break his knee or did you break your knee?
He injured himself when he was playing in France. I can't remember the team he was playing for, but he was over there for about 2 years after he'd finished university. And then he got injured, and then he's now playing in Nottingham.
Oh, so he's still playing.
Yeah,
So he came back with another plan.
But he's still making very good music. Very good
He
music.
seems like it because that rap, and then one of the parts I like is that I don't even know why they told me. I don't even know why they talk on me though. Some of them got left back like Figo. In my head, I was like, woo! And then he goes, DJ, give me a reload. At that point, you know when you're listening to the song, and you ever watch like a movie and something happens and you just feel like, I want to be in the movie. Like, for example, when you watch Top Boy, when Sully does some things, you're just thinking, yeah, I want to. That's exactly how I feel. I don't even know why they're on me though. Some of them got left back like Figo. I was like, And then this guy comes in again with the chorus. So, how did you guys actually come together to put the music together? Who was the idea? Was it, or what? Two of you going through almost kind of the same kind of situation?
We'd always been like looking to make a song together. We went to the same school as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably about, I think there's probably about 5-6 years difference between us. But through volleyball, we kind of stayed connected. And like with me doing music and obviously me respecting like the music that he makes, and he's such a talented guy. I was like, I think this is the track.
Rax, I hope you're coming for Korak. You better be. You're going to find Rax, man. That's good. And then 2023, your catalog of music in 2023 is amazing. You had Survivor. You had, what's the song? That Moment. You had a lot of good songs in 2023. You had a lot of songs that you actually released that were not in the EP. Or they were not in the album. And why didn't they make the album? Because they were very good songs. Survivor. There's no reason why Survivor is not in this album.
I was kind of saving it for another EP that never got finished.
Why? Because you're still waiting for it to be perfect.
Yeah. And I always like compare the music that I make, because like these songs, I find there's always a lag between them, between like how they are to being released, because the song could be finished, but I could put it out at different times of the year and it can just be digested differently because there's no visuals or there's something else that
because
comes
human
into
beings
play.
are weird. That's what it is.
I
mean, but fast forward to 2024, another catalog of wonderful songs. I mean, Black Clover, Solo, Pass By. You just released This Is Love with Jim. Hold Me Down. Now that is a track. Hold Me Down, man. That is a good song.
I love that song.
But the This Is Love that you released with Jim, it talks about, as it says, this is love. But this is one of the things that I'm saying, you're a very deep individual. I'm assuming Jim is too, because of the lyrics of the songs. And the part that touches me, or the part that got to me, is, you will never lose me, even though I lose sleep. I know that I will feel the same way for more than after. If you don't know, now you know. This is love. So is this from an experience, or is this somebody you feel this about, or what was the inspiration for This Is Love release?
With that particular song, it was actually, I found out some information from a few things in a relationship that I can't really share, but I find that...
Your relationship or somebody's relationship?
From my relationship. It was something to do with my family, but
okay.
I kind of found out something, and then that's kind of what sparked the idea to do the song.
The thing you found out, was it good? Was it bad?
Pretty bad. It's pretty traumatic. But from that, I kind of just like started writing the song. I find that most of my songs are kind of therapy for me in a way, because it kind of gets what I want to say off my chest. And sometimes the songs could be digested a bit differently to like how, what they actually really mean for me anyway, in particular.
Without going into the song, can you not say it to get it off your chest, naturally or normally?
Yeah. But
it won't sound as good.
I'd like it to be just something that's that just flows naturally. And I feel like with music, that's kind of what it does. And I have especially when I get pretty emotional, I find it very difficult for me to articulate myself in a way that is digestible.
How emotional do you get? Like, we're talking about anger here, or tears, or
All of it. I'm quite
do
emotional.
you smash things?
Oh, no, I'm not that angry.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, you already jump in the air and smash balls. So I mean, you should be able to take that out of them. And it goes on to say, "I am no longer lost when you're around. Finally, I can think about something else. When I am next to you, I can't remember how it feels when you're not there. I can't resist the rich. I am sorry. It's as simple, little close to be simple. If you don't know, now you know."
Yeah. I feel like that was a very good way to finish the song. And his vocals and how he delivers it is just impeccable. I'm a very big fan of his music. He's from the US as well.
Okay, but does he live here, or you guys just made it work for him?
Through Instagram.
So
I
you
met
met,
him through
and
Instagram.
then
I heard his, actually no. I heard his song off Spotify. We were on the same playlist for quite a while. And there was this one song, Misconstrued, absolute banger. He's got plenty, especially like he's recently just released one as well.
Is his name just Jim, like Jim?
Jimmy Dermody, I think it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
it definitely sounds very US. That's surname.
Yeah.
But it's a good song, very good song. And then I said 2024, you were giving us bangers. But then I'm going back to 2023. The first song I actually heard when I discovered who Leon was or is. Blessed. So I feel like blessed is a term that people use very differently. Shout out to a lady called Victoria Pennant. Anytime I reach out to her and I go, "Oh, how are you?" and her answer is always, "Oh, I'm blessed." It's very, and I'm like, I like that because you use it in some people use it. Some people have it as their names, like blessing.
Blessing,
yeah. It's a great name.
Great name.
Thank your parents. Thank your
I
parents.
know, right?
In 2023, you released the song "Blessed," and it goes, "Let's take it slow. We are blessed. May we please slow down. We are blessed." But of course, the song has the hook. So the songs I pick out to talk about are the ones that like, there's a grip.
Yeah.
And it says, "My barriers are breaking down. I am bathing in your presence night and day. Don't let me drown. Along with half my life, you managed to turn this around upside down. I might have been lost my mind, but I have been found. But take it easy with me." What are we talking about here? Because this sounds like...
that song was the idea behind that song was like someone kind of like starting in a relationship. Almost.
You sing a lot about relationships, so considering you haven't been in one in a long time.
I know.
Are you in your head formulating what your perfect relationship will be?
I'm kind of like, especially with the music I make as well and the genre, I feel like it's just kind of what comes naturally to me, and kind of like, especially when it comes to the songs that I've kind of been brought up listening to, I feel like it's yeah.
So this song, "I'm bathing in your presence night and day, don't let me drown." Is this you saying, "I love you with everything I have.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me"?
Please.
Okay. Is that, and as you said, this is what your idea of telling somebody that you love will be. It's not like you're actually talking to somebody in particular.
No, it's not really someone in particular. Even when I was writing the lyrics, I did have a few people in mind, but
A few? More than one?
no, from like past, like obviously past
Okay.
time. But like, that's kind of where I draw my inspiration from, as well as things that actually kind of happen in everyday life with people that I meet, and how I interpret that scenario, shall we say.
So what's the plan in terms of music release 2025? Or are you haven't hit the perfection point yet with all the other songs you have been releasing?
I feel like this year is definitely going to be a turning point for a lot of things musically.
Yes, it starts April 17, people. Be there, buy tickets, and all that good stuff. Well, so when you mean turning point are what? We're going to the Grammys.
Yes, I want it all. I want it all.
I want all that smoke. Bring it. Get your suit ready, Blessing. After party.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he invites us or not, we'll be there. You know those people that are standing in the crowd and you're just going, Leon, Leon, it's me, Korak. Can't remember. Yeah, but we're at the point where BK Creative himself will ask you a few questions. So, Blessing.
Okay. So I've enjoyed listening to your story. I think so interesting to kind of hear how someone's life can not take a turn, but you kind of have one trajectory and then it kind of just switches. But my question to you, you spoke earlier about consistency. What keeps you motivated to stay consistent? What keeps you going? Some people start music and they don't release even half the amount of music you've released. Some people do and they never make it, or like they make it in their own rights. But what keeps you consistent to be like you just said, you want it all? What's keeping you going in that dream?
I feel like when I made the decision to actually take music like fully 100%, a lot of people kind of showed doubt in the way that they just thought that it was just something that was gonna be here and not really be something that was going to be like a continual thing. And I feel like from that I kind of just took it as a point of like them really misunderstanding who I actually am, because if they actually knew my background and knew the people I was around and the people that actually influenced me to get to the point where I am today, it would be something to be celebrated. But what keeps me consistent is just kind of my love for music in general, and actually just being able to, I love the idea of actually being able to create. I feel like it's something that everyone should find an avenue for, well, a way of actually putting time in for. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just obviously just my love for it, and you never really know what the next song's gonna do, and I just like listening to music in general. That's probably going to be my next motivational thing to get me a car as well, because I just want to be able to just drive and listen.
I hear it. And will the professional stage ever see you play volleyball again?
No,
that's done.
Yeah,
I respect it.
the kneecaps need to be saved. I need to save these, man. I'm running around too much as well.
A lot of jumping and flying in the air.
Yeah.
See that game, man? It's nice. But thank you very much, Leon, and sharing your story with us so far. It's as Blessing said, that transition is not something a lot of people do, and then to stay consistent. You one of the things that you mentioned is you're going to want to, or you want to actually prove a lot of people wrong. When you do, what will then be the motivation? So there's a guy I like a lot, Patrick Bet-David, and he has a book where it says choose your enemies wisely, which is pretty much picking what you think you need to get above. So that guy, because every time, at the end of the day, we pick out different enemies. It's like a motivation. I'm going to show you, I'm going to be better. So when you then show that person that you're going to be wonderful, they don't push you to do anything. So you have to choose another enemy. So when you prove all these people wrong, who or what would then be your enemy to actually keep pushing you, apart from the love of music that you have?
The people that inspire me. Not obviously to like, I feel like I'd rather be inspired than actually have the feeling of having to like prove people wrong. That's just kind of like the state of mind that I was in, say 2-3 years ago. But now I feel like I'm in a space now where I'm actually just like really having fun with what I do. I mean, it's something that like when I get home and I finished work and I've actually just done my day-to-day life, I can literally just put on a beat and just write lyrics to it. And it's just something that kind of motivates me. It's a sort of therapy for me, because it's just me getting things off my mind, or putting things in a perspective where it kind of makes me understand certain things about my artistry and like where it actually stems from.
What would you say has been the most difficult or breaking point so far in your musical career?
The most difficult. I think it's mainly just knowing that there's a lot of people that actually are fans of what I do. But half of them, it kind of just gets lost in the sauce because of this whole social media malarkey. Like, half the people that actually are, it takes me physically to actually having to, like, be around and obviously let people know.
And that's very draining, I
Yeah.
believe.
This algorithm game, there's a lot.
Well, it's the world we live in, and it's the algorithm we have to follow. But
Exactly.
it shall be good. April 17th, ladies and gentlemen, Korak Live Music Events. Leon will be telling his story through his music, so please get that ticket. But thank you very much for coming on this episode. It's been a wonderful story, understanding how you went from table tennis, judo, flying in the air in Nice, and of course, releasing music. Hopefully, as that Grammy comes and everything else comes, you should come back tell us more stories. So thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Leon Chambers, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, man. Seriously.
Anytime. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. And of course, a big shout out to production, BK Creative.
I'll see you guys on the next one.
Of course. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Leon, amazing. I am your host, MC Sabi Boy. More thanks.